Hello, and welcome to Podblivion. This is a video podcast hosted by me, Void, along with my sister, Cassie. This particular episode is actually the second half of a conversation we started in the last episode. It went on a little long, so I had to split it up into two different parts. You can check out the first part in the link below. Anyway, without further ado, let's get back to it.
In comics in general, because this is actually my first comic that I'm extensively reading.
Yeah.
Is it common to make references to other literature, to other musical plays, novels, etc.?
Well, in terms of frequency of references in a comic versus anything else, yeah, I mean, if you read enough comics, I think references are pretty frequent, actually.
Okay.
I can imagine that, especially being a thing in earlier comics, but whether it's a reference to something external or internal, like you can make a self-reference to something that you own in a comic. Regardless, I believe they are frequent.
Okay.
And, yeah. Why do you want to know?
I wanted to know because I wasn't sure if that was related to the specific background of the author that created Judge Dredd, or if that was common in general. Because I have noticed a lot of references. Like, for example, we had the man-eating plant that looked like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors.
Right, and that may have been more coincidence.
Yeah, that might have been more coincidence.
But yeah.
But there was an explicit reference to Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's very well-known popular culture.
They also briefly mentioned Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
And they mentioned Sweeney Todd.
Yes. I did. Oh, did I write? I didn't write that one down because that one didn't have a title to it, that story.
Yeah, there wasn't a particular title.
There was a story where Judge Dredd goes up against various fictional serial killers or something like that. And they're all I believe they're all of British origin.
Yeah.
But I found that very interesting. And
I didn't think the Hunchback of Notre Dame was a serial killer.
Sorry, not necessarily serial killer, just
characters.
Like a horror. So we're more familiar with the Disney version of the Hunchback of Notre Dame,
true.
But he was originally presented in a horror context, which is just mean.
Yeah, he was just
deformed.
Yeah.
Come on. The man can sing.
Yeah.
He's got a heart of gold.
Deformed, man.
Out there. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so they briefly, and then do you know Sweeney Todd?
So when I read that, I was like, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But I was not familiar with what the character was about until I looked him up.
Okay.
But please give me a refresher, because that was a while ago.
So I haven't specifically seen the movie or play or whatever it was. I forget. Maybe both. But Sweeney Todd, the concept is that
it was a movie.
Okay.
By, why am I forgetting his name right now?
I know it was created.
Tim Burton.
There we go.
It was Tim Burton.
I'm pretty sure it was adapted into a play as well, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, it's a revenge story.
Yes. So Sweeney Todd, he is a murderous barber.
Yes, that's right.
So when they referenced Sweeney Todd as well as Hunchback of Notre Dame, plus all the other references, I was like, there's a lot of different references to novels, stuff that's been adapted into plays or vice versa.
Popular culture in general.
Yeah, so I was just curious the frequency of that, because I have been noticing a lot of references.
Yeah. Maybe that's just more of a thing in earlier comics, but I don't know. I don't think it's beyond possibility that there could be something like that in a more modern issue.
Right.
I don't know. Because the thing about comics is that they are oftentimes they are the petri dish of culture itself. Yeah. And they're just pop culture incarnate, and it's just it's where it grows and festers, and well, I shouldn't say fester. That sounds bad, but it's just a place where ideas are shared and celebrated, and fictional characters flourish. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past even modern comics to be like that. Okay. But yeah, honestly, Judge Dredd is, in many ways, it's my first comic too, but only in the sense that it's my first sprawling comic series. I have read graphic novels. Yeah. But it's not quite the same. Right. This is my first big comic indulgence binge, whatever you want to call it.
Really briefly, going back to world building.
Right.
We also saw that there are moving houses.
Yeah, mopeds.
Yes, mopeds.
Just like cars on the highway, kind of like trailers, but like a mansion.
Yeah, that constantly move, which I thought was cool because it explains how basically, even though there was a lot of buildings and that we have these massive city blocks, we still have a housing shortage, which makes sense, actually.
Yeah, there's so many people. So you have to resort to having real estate on the road.
Right.
And on the go.
And then, therefore, even though we have city blocks, which would limit traffic, then we have moving houses that create more traffic.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why there's a hell of a lot of traffic in this world. But I thought that was also really cool, just how it's explaining how people live their lives, how there's different types of houses, how everyone's congregated into this one tiny little area, which to us wouldn't make any sense, but they're explaining it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, since you brought up that one story, we were talking about how Judge Dredd gets around so quickly. There was a small detail I noticed in that story at the beginning. He is, when he sees that out of control moped, he's on his bike at the top of a ramp that is judges only.
I saw that.
Yes. So I knew that going into that conversation last time. So that's why I kind of had these ideas of maybe this is what we have. That was the only hint I had of that, but that got me thinking that might apply to entire roadways.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I brought that detail I kind of expanded upon it as a possibility of explaining some more world building stuff.
Yeah, that makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. It'll limit having to weave through traffic. You can get places faster. Exactly. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What's hard is that you have to pay attention to the story and what's going on, but like really look at the drawings too to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that they made these in color.
Yes.
Because the ones that are in black and white are it's harder to tell what's going on.
Right.
So, yeah.
And this is the strength of a comic. You have visuals for those of us that have a hard time picturing things, but at the same time it's at your own pace like a book.
Yeah.
So, and then they use this to their advantage. Yeah. So, yeah, it's very neat. It's a medium I really appreciate and I want to experience more of.
Yeah. I have 2 more things I want to talk about before we wrap up.
Okay.
Number 1, and you actually walked into the room when I was reading this.
Oh, yeah. You caught something that I did not.
Yes. So there is an Invisible Man story where basically this guy is posing as an invisible man and he's robbing places.
Right. And the twist was he wasn't actually turning invisible.
He was just moving super fast.
Right. And I'm surprised I didn't actually catch on to that before it was revealed because there's actually an episode of Batman the Animated Series where a villain uses the same kind of method to commit crime.
Oh.
I would say that story actually explored more of the science of that.
Yeah.
And like the many ways in which time-stopping technology can be used, and they get caught in a time trap in the Batmobile, and they're stuck on the highway.
Yeah.
And they're like, if we open the door, we're gonna fucking explode because there's cars going past us at like who knows how fast.
Yeah.
Just a brief comparison there, but anyway, there's a character you notice.
So there was a character I noticed, Judge Dredd, when he was first trying to figure out how this criminal is doing crime. He's like, he goes to the Justice Department where he talks to the Chief of Science.
Yes, who is apparently also a judge.
Yeah.
Because he had a badge, so he was the Chief of Science. So apparently there's a judge that is the Chief of Science. That's a thing that you just have.
And his name is Judge Nye.
I don't know how that got past me. So I think it's pretty obvious what we're getting at here, fellas and ladies.
When I read that, I was like, wait a fucking minute. And I went and looked up Bill Nye the Science Guy. Yeah. And I was like, ain't no fucking way. Because I was wondering when Bill Nye the Science Guy became a thing. He started airing on TV.
Yeah.
In 1986.
That's not a lot of time that passed.
No.
What?
I don't know if it's pure coincidence or what. This Judge Dredd story came out in like late 1979, early 1980, based off of the dates.
Right.
And Bill Nye came out in 1986. So I don't know how that fucking happened, because I looked it up and Bill Nye is his actual name.
Yeah.
Bill Nye is his actual fucking name. It's not a stage name.
It would have been something if it was if it was a stage name, then it would be like, okay, well then maybe there's a possibility that they drew inspiration. But no, it's a guy it was just the name of a guy that was born.
Just an actual guy that was born. Bill Nye decided to be a scientist and decided to have a TV show. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
So we are past like the prospect of Judge Dredd doing this goes beyond that, because this happened earlier in a previous episode. If you guys have been listening this whole time, we discovered that the concept of Jurassic Park was actually executed first within a Judge Dredd story.
Yeah.
Which was pretty mind-boggling. But the thing about Jurassic Park is that it's an idea that was created.
Yeah.
So there's the possibility of Michael Crichton maybe borrowing that, or if not, it was still, an idea is different than a person being born. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
A person was born and decided to become a scientist. And then we have a character in Judge Dredd preceding this guy becoming this man that he's known as today. And this guy was in the science department, and his name was Nye.
NYE, spelled the same.
Spelled the same way, which is just bananas.
I was like, oh my god, this has to be pure coincidence.
And it is.
And it is. But what the hell? Judge Nye the Science Guy. I was like,
that was a good catch. That was a good catch.
Oh my god. And then there's the last story that you had me read.
Before we get to that,
okay,
I have a few other things I just want to mention, because I wrote down all the stories that I thought were worth talking about.
Right. I skipped a couple because we're running out of time.
Right.
And I
I'm just gonna briefly go over.
Thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I want to wrap up this part of the discussion, because there's going to be just more to talk about next time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to stretch out the first half of Volume 3 into another episode.
Yeah.
We're just going to go over this real quick. All right. Few little things. So there was the guinea pig.
Yes.
Story about animal experimentation.
Yep.
And there was a talking cat.
Yes, there was.
Thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I did have a brief question on that.
Yeah.
I kind of would have assumed that they just recently banned animal experimentation in that story.
Right.
You kind of would have assumed that they would have had laws against animal cruelty like we do today. Like, you can experiment on animals, but only to a certain extent, and they have to follow animal cruelty laws.
Yeah, I feel like that was a detail more for the story's sake. Like, oh yeah, we just recently banned it, so that would explain why there's a guy that still wants to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Prohibition.
Yeah.
You recently banned it, and people are like, speakeasies.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good point, though. Like, you'd think that with all the ideals in the world of Judge Dredd, that would have been banned a long time ago.
Right.
Real quick, there were two stories that didn't sit that well with me.
Okay.
And we have not talked about them yet. I'll talk about the lesser of the two first. It was a Christmas special.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Set actually in a bit of a flashback back when he was when Judge Dredd was the judge of the moon of Luna 1, not the whole moon, just the American space colony called Luna 1 within a dome. It was just like during Christmas, and there's a surprise party, but then some robots show up, and they're rebelling. These robots, do you remember the roles of the robots?
The roles?
Yeah, the robots had like their own specialties, their own jobs.
Oh, there was an artist robot, there was a writing robot, and like a lettering robot.
Yes.
Script robot, lettering artist.
All of which are roles that are involved in making a comic.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So, and then they're like, oh, we're going to put these guys down. And then like all these different like 2000 AD characters, which there are all these like characters with named characters that were showing up that you did not know, and neither did I.
Yeah.
Those are all 2000 AD characters from different comics belonging to 2000 AD. Judge Dredd is one of those characters.
Okay.
So they all teamed up against these robots that were going on strike.
Yeah.
That didn't sit well with me because it was like, that felt like kind of like commentary on like
anti-unions.
Yeah, anti-union.
Yep.
Just didn't sit well with me. I'm sorry. Just like
well, I mean, the opposite of unions is capitalism, and yeah, unions are actually good in the sense that you have the manpower to negotiate raises, and if everybody is having negative wages, that you can all try and unite and then get better wages.
Yeah. That just seems like a very dated kind of story to have. I mean, even for then, I was just shocked. I was a little shocked.
Yeah,
I was like,
well, I mean, it happens today, actually.
Well, yeah.
There's
but just the fact that you have the fact that you have that happen in a comic.
Yeah.
It felt unnecessary.
Yeah, like very pro-capitalism.
Yeah, it was just uncalled for.
But like, capitalism does not help the people. And we don't have to get into that.
Right.
But
yeah.
Yeah, as you know.
We're not getting political here.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. That was one of those things where I was like, okay, this is anti-union, pro-capitalism. Yeah. It's old-fashioned, let's just move on.
Right. Yeah, it just felt distasteful to have that be you just dedicate a story, a Christmas special of Judge Dredd to that kind of story. That just it didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
Now the other thing that didn't sit well with me, that last one was more for a meta reason, like self-referential. But this other one was more of a in-world reason why it didn't sit well with me. The Battle of the Black Atlantic. Really cool title, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolute baller title. Some pretty good illustrations, too. I liked the look. That actually showed you the first look at one of the port side entrances of Mega City 1. So you got to see some of the naval activity and the big ships, like huge.
Like the size of a whole city.
Yeah,
big
like
ships.
I don't know about the length of it. The length of it may have been like the length of a Disney cruise. I don't know, but the height of it, that was something.
We're talking way larger than the Titanic.
Yeah, no, it was towering over the waves.
Yeah.
It looks like a mobile oil rig, but just way bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, a cool concept. There were a few things that I had to question though about this. I went full Cassie mode on these. I was like, wait a minute.
Yay!
Yeah, and if I notice something, you fucked up.
Yeah.
So, first of all, and this is the lesser of the two things, why is the futuristic KGB right next door? They're saying like the west side?
Yeah.
And that's where just the Russians live?
Apparently.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? I understand the moon. That is like drawing a parallel to like the space race.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Even if the idea of communism still existing in the future on that scale is baffling. I can understand that. I can understand the way you were feeling. It was the Cold War. But do you think they're going to be on your soil?
Right.
Like, what was going on with that? Was it like an international waters deal? I have no idea.
I think it was, actually.
But why would they let them get that close?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was just...
considering...
we need more Russians in here.
Considering how big that freaking ship was, you would have noticed that it was right off of your coast.
Right.
Outside.
It's right there.
Well, because they said like 40 miles off the coast. So that, and they specifically said it was past their territory in international waters. So past U.S. territory.
They also kept saying
water.
west side, which applied like a side of the city. Like, did I not understand that correctly? Like, it seemed like they were talking about a side of the city that these guys were from.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't catch that.
That was just baffling.
I didn't catch the specific directions, but I was assuming we were on the East Coast, and how if you go into the waters, you start heading in the direction of Europe.
Right.
Geographically on the map. And the fact that you'd have to cross all of Europe to get to Russia, like they clearly like sailed around to get there, and then they were just like stationed off the coast in international waters.
Yeah.
I know there was a specific thing where Judge Dredd is like, I'm arresting all of you. And they're like, you can't do that. We're in international waters. Or like, we're not in your territory.
He's like, watch me.
Watch me. I'm extending the territory. And I'm just like, you can't fucking do that, bro.
That was another thing. The other thing, what happened actually at the beginning of the story, which was, I thought it was the main offense.
Yeah.
Which was that they do routine searches of
God.
civilian abodes.
I hated that.
That was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I hated that.
So now, bear in mind, this is pre-Volume 5.
Right.
So it could be not a thing like later on, but that was very dystopian.
Yes.
And I hated it.
I hated it too. The reason why I brushed over it and didn't make any comments about it, because I was like, okay, it's probably pre-Volume 5.
Yeah.
Chalk it up to that. Hopefully it doesn't continue. But that's very dystopian. And the fact that they just do random searches for no reason. It's not like they have a warrant. They can just say, we can come in and search your house whenever we want. And you know what? That's what it is, and we don't need a warrant. You can't complain. Oh, and then the fact that they fucking trashed the place and was like, oh, after we leave, there'll be robots that will repair your shit and you'll get compensated for it. Like, no, I like my shit. I don't want it to get destroyed.
Like what if I was chilling in my apartment and then this happened to me and I had like a computer with all my storage on it, my data, and sure, you can repair the computer, you can replace the computer, but I can't get that data back.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Or like, for example, furniture. Styles of furniture change with time, okay?
Right.
And you could have a very specific type of style of furniture that you like that is no longer in style. Kind of like how clothes change, you know?
Right, yeah.
If they destroy your furniture, which, by the way, is really fucking expensive, buying furniture sucks ass.
I wonder if they just don't have furniture designers and it's just all like...
It's all the same.
It's all the same. Yeah, and it never changes.
It must not, because I would be really fucking attached to my furniture that I like, that I handpicked out and paid a lot of money for, and they're just gonna come in and wreck it? What the hell?
Yeah.
Or like, what if I had art that I created myself, because I do that, by the way, and they came in and wrecked my hand-created art, and they're like, oh, we'll just buy you some freaking...
Minecraft paintings.
Yeah. Like, stuff that isn't original, stuff that you can, like, buy for $5 from freaking Hobby Lobby. That's, like, the bullshit art that is... whatever. And it's like,
yeah.
You destroy my art, and then like you say, oh, I'll just gotta compensate you for it. Okay. That, I didn't like that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I get that they handle the law, and there's a bit of an authoritarian aspect to them, but up until that point, it hadn't been so bad. But then it's just like, by the way, full send?
Yeah.
Full send.
Full send.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It was just the fact, like, okay, the fact that you don't have these guys really doing stuff like that until that point, that's what gave me whiplash.
Yeah.
And...
well, because there's been moments where they justify their actions by trying to catch a criminal.
Right. And that makes sense. I mean, like, I understand the state of the future in Judge Dredd. I understand what they gotta do, but...
So... I sort of, as much as I don't like it, I kind of brushed over it because I was like, okay, well, they're actively pursuing a criminal that did stuff, so I guess you can justify it. But then you can't justify that.
No.
They're just, and they even said that most people are committing crimes without knowing it, and so there's a 100% fail rate to that.
Yeah.
And most of them, they just let them by with like a caution, like a warning, because most people don't know. But the fact that they were going through this guy's shit and was like, this seems really expensive. Where's your receipt? So you're telling me for all my clothes that I buy, I'm going to have to keep a receipt to prove I didn't steal it?
It doesn't seem right.
No.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Now, if it had been like if it had been something that they had said was a thing, if they had only said that was a thing for the sake of catching this guy that they suspected,
yeah,
and it was not actually a thing, but the guy was just being fooled, into thinking it was, that would be understandable. But no, what stung was that the comic, the little overlaying comic box that gives you context was like, this is a thing, by the way. And I was like, I don't like that.
Nope.
Not at all. So yeah, that sucked. Mm-hmm. But that was the only other thing I had on that.
Yeah.
Other things that we talked about, Invisible Man. We're getting down to it here. We don't really need to talk about Lips Lazarus. Mega Miami.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I mentioned that, I forget what the context was, but I hinted in the last time we talked about Judge Dredd that there are, you're like, oh yeah, what if they like split it up? And I was like, well, there's probably like, different like provinces, but like it might all just be the same governance, but we have a named region, a sub-region of Mega City 1 in one of the comics called Mega Miami.
Yeah.
And it is basically just Florida, all of Florida.
But it's like a vacation place.
Yeah, but it's at the same time, it's not its own city.
Yeah.
It's part of Mega City 1. And this is also pre-Volume 5, so I don't know if this is still going to be a thing. I kind of wanted to be a thing, not going to lie. Just, like, you just call it, like, you just call all your cities. What if we had Mega Detroit?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Mega Detroit.
Detroit.
Mega New Jersey.
Oh my god.
No, that's a state, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's like I thought
Mega Chicago.
I thought it was a fun idea to just like you have your 3 mega cities and nothing in them, but then suddenly you just slapped Mega in front of Miami and made it a thing. But a fun idea. I liked that. Just like, oh yeah, Mega Miami. And then there was a story. It felt so pointless. I had to talk about it.
Okay.
And what boggles me is that this was written by John Wagner, The Great Muldoon.
Oh, I just.
The way you just sighed and looked down was everything. Yeah, that's a good word to describe it.
You're right.
Yeah.
The fact that they basically have a magician that is...
He's like, I will perform a Houdini-like feat that the world has never seen. What's that feat? Phasing through a solid slab of iron and then diving into some water below. It doesn't go well.
And they're like, that's dangerous. We gotta stop him.
Yeah, I mean, and Judge Dredd had a good reason to be afraid of that.
And then he goes splat. And they're like, well, that's show business.
Like, well, that thing kind of just happens.
Like,
insert message of the day here that doesn't make sense for the context.
Insert message after the A. Well, that's showbiz. Like, I guess some people die, or just like, I don't know. That was weird. It was just pointless. I was like, God.
Yeah. I just thought that was like, why? John? Why?
Honestly, it's gotten to the point where some of these one-off stories, even if they're not absolutely fucking bonkers, like the freaking Jolly Green Giant, they're just there to like, they're like the filler anime episodes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's the comic equivalent of, hey, let's just do fan service and go to the beach and show some tatas. And you're not adding to the story at all. Like,
no, that's exactly what it is. Now, speaking of bizarro stuff, Boing.
God, Boing.
Boing. Boing. I love Boing. I love Boing. I love it.
I'm glad you told me to read this before we started recording.
Yes.
Just...
Where do we start? Where do we start with this?
My first thing that I wrote down on my piece of paper when I was taking notes was Boing, Arrow, absolute insanity. That was my notes.
I like how you wrote that down for Boing. when some stories before that, we had a man-made volcano erupt in Mega City 1 and man-eating plants from another planet and a guy covered in plants, and you write for that story, absolute insanity.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, she doesn't know. Yeah, there's a reason I had you read this. There's a reason I wanted you to cram this into the first half.
Yeah.
Because it probably would have been overshadowed later.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what happens is there's a product in the future called Boing. With an exclamation mark. Don't forget the exclamation mark. It's just called Boing.
Boing.
It is a spray-on product where you spray it on yourself, or you have someone else spray it on you, and you become encased, and it's essentially a bouncy ball, but you can still breathe in it.
It's like those hamster balls.
Yeah,
that, it's like help you float on water.
It's like an instant hamster ball,
but it bounces.
It bounces. It's not just for floating or rolling. It bounces. It says, okay, now, but please only use Boing in our registered Boingatoriums or whatever they call them.
Yeah,
Boing Emporiums. So then three of these guys get an idea. They get a goofy idea. We're going to do the big boy. We're going to do the biggest boy.
We're going to boing all over the place.
Guys, stand back. Okay, so the bold one, the leader of this trio of teenagers that go out on the top of this building, and they have really tall buildings. Let me just remind you guys, they have really, really tall buildings.
Really tall buildings.
We're talking like every building is like the size of that one building in like Dubai or whatever. So this guy's like, this is the voice I imagine him having. Stand back, fellas, I'm gonna do the big boing.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna do the big boing. And so he does an outdoor boing, which is the act of using boing and then doing a boing, a bounce in a boing ball. Fucking chaos, death, and destruction.
Pinball. Pinballing everywhere.
Imagine if a pinball was unleashed in your city. A bouncy pinball, the size of a wrecking ball.
Like a 6 foot in diameter ball.
Suddenly this fun idea has become a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah. Going everywhere.
There were many good lines drawn from this, so many good quotes that came out of this incredibly wacky story.
And the boy boinged away.
What was the one? So he's about to hit some civilians, this one guy.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them going around, by the way. But a judge, not Judge Dredd, sacrifices himself to save some civilians that were about to be crushed by the boing ball.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I always knew I would go out in the force, but not like this. Not death by boing.
Death by boing.
It's like a fucking like a war flashback, but it's all being caused by some guy in a giant rubber ball.
I just thought it was hilarious how they used the term. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And just the fact that the last kid that was boinging around was going towards the wall that Judge Cal, the
this
authoritarian.
Is the story. Do I say this now? I'm gonna say this now.
Okay.
So, you know how I had to backtrack because I encountered something in Volume 5 that made me want to go back? Mm-hmm. It was this story.
Really?
Yeah. I can't say why.
Okay.
But then I saw they referenced the wall that the Tyrant Cal had built, and then it was immediately back, all the way back, because I was like, this is just going to be a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
So that was the story that made me go all the way back, because it referenced Judge Cal. But yeah, so they open the wall, and he boings into the distance, into the wasteland, and they find him days later being worshipped by some muties.
They're just like, okay, he's being worshipped now. They're worshipping the boing ball.
Yep. My God.
And then they bring it back, but oh my God.
Oh my God, indeed.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, it was bananas. Any other thoughts on that?
That was about it.
Hold on, wait. I might actually just have to open my tablet right now and just flip to the page there's the greatest thing. Hold on, this is gonna take a hot minute. All right, here, it wasn't that long. Okay. This is like the second to last panel of Boing. And so the first Boing deaths had come. Life was like that in the future city, where every new day brought new dangers. And only the judges stood between the people and disaster. And Judge Dredd is there. There's a thought bubble protruding from him. The people have a right to Boing, but they also have a right to protection. I'll see that they get it. That's wild out of context.
Yeah.
Next day, the first Boing law was passed. Justice Department warning penalty for improper use. 20 years!
20 years!
20 years for improper use of boinging. But just that speech bubble goes wild. The people have a right to boing, but they also have a right to protection. You have a right to boing, but you have a right to protection. Trojan.
Oh, man.
Imagine if that was Trojan's slogan. You have a right to boing, but you also have a right to protection.
You have a right
Trojan.
and I'm going to protect you whether you like it or
I'm
not.
gonna protect you from your own boinging.
Yeah.
They got a right to boing.
God.
I'm sure they didn't understand how that came across when they wrote that. Or maybe they did. Maybe they absolutely did.
Maybe they did.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that is the first half of Volume 3. So next time, in our next batch of episodes that we record, we will have read the second half, which doesn't have boing in it, but I know that some interesting things are going to be happening.
Okay, cool.
So I'm very excited. I have not gone all the way through the second half. There's a story I know about. I'm very excited. Very excited.
Okay.
Very excited. But yeah, that'll be the next time. I'm probably gonna have to split this episode into 2 parts because it went a while.
Yeah, it did.
It did. So I'll just do that. It's fine.
Lots of thoughts.
Lots of thoughts to be shared. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this episode of Podblivion. I hope you enjoyed, well, the past 2 episodes, because in the event that this is gonna be a 2-parter, then you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome for me splitting that and for saving your time.
Judge Dredd, back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Back to back Judge Dredd episodes. You're welcome. All right. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Make sure to like this episode if you enjoyed it, or just like it in general, because, you know, the show needs support. And also, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, joining the Void Watchers. I've got membership options. Go check that out. Hit that notification bell so that you are among the first to know when I go live, when I upload videos, because I do both. And you can check out, we have, Cassie is actually, she did not debut in this series. We actually, she debuted back in a Let's Play that is still being worked on, Night in the Woods. Go check that out. There's a playlist. You can search for it. It's great, hilarious, tears streaming down her face from time to time.
Yeah. Coughing fits.
Can't
breathe.
Because of laughter.
Yeah.
It's great. It's absolutely great. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So until next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Boing.